Here we go. Daniel Ramsey here, MyOutDesk. We're excited. We've got Bob Corcoran again. He's like our famous presenter, and today we're gonna dive into his 30 touch point referral program. He and I were chatting the last hangout that we did, and he said, and he's like, "What's the biggest value we can bring to people?" And we're walking into spring, we're walking into summer, and referrals. And so he's going to share with us all the referrals stuff that he coaches people to do. Bob, set the stage for us. Talk to us about like why this is important and what agents are, should be doing in this space.
One of the things I absolutely love is this topic. And one thing we always say, we're headed into the spring market here. And folks, I want you to know one thing. Bad habits are developed during the busy season. Guess what? We're coming into the busy season. So what has got you your success, one thing what happens, a lot of you, you just let those great habits that you've, been putting in place the last 3-4 months, you let them slide by the wayside. And then you wonder why your business goes down. Well, one of the one area that really just shocks me in real estate, what a really, really poor job that real estate agents do is really staying in touch with the past clients. We always say, Daniel, every agent, and I'm talking about, I'll talk to agents if you're listening to today's program here with Daniel and I, and you're selling about 10, 20 homes. Yeah, 80% of your business probably is coming from your sphere. Okay, but let's put you on a rocket ship with a couple of 4 boosters on it, and let's say you're doing 100 transactions. Can you still get 80 transactions from your sphere of influence and your past clients? No, I bet you the answer is no. Because what happens, the busier we get, we let our past clients go by the wayside. You see, when we start out in business, it's real easy. Everybody tells you, just call everybody you know and tell them you're in real estate. Well, no wonder 80%, right, is coming from your past clients and sphere. But you know what? What we're talking, Daniel, is about building a sustainable business. Okay, and when we look at referrals, okay, it is very powerful. We talk about a 30 touch, okay, system, okay, for referrals. And ladies and gentlemen, grab your pen. I know this is probably being recorded, isn't it?
Oh yeah, and I got a pen too.
Yeah, me too, okay? I got paper too, okay? Because guess what? You know what, Daniel? I get so much from you listening to you talk. Like, I want to shut up and just listen to you so I can take my notes, okay? And so the cool thing I love about these Hangouts are, I'm blessed and we get to talk with agents coast to coast on, best business practices. And I got you on the other side over here supporting our clients. I think about 80% of my private clients are using a VA from your company. And, me, I believe no job's too small to outsource. So Daniel, when we look at this, grab your pen, because people say, well, I'll listen to it. It's going to be recorded. You know what? A pretty smart man, maybe you heard of him. His name is Albert, Einstein. He always said, why should I remember it if I can write it down? Ask any psychologist, they'll tell you you're going to improve your memory over 70% simply by writing something down. Not typing it into a desktop, okay, or a computer, writing it down. You're intimate with those words. So when we look at your businesses, as you start ratcheting up, all you need to do is put an action plan together one time. And it's good for the rest of your career. We believe in like a 30 touch system for past clients and referrals. Number one is, and a lot of this stuff is off the shelf. You can buy it off the shelf. As a matter of fact, if you're using, a system like Top Producer, they have action plans already built with this stuff in it. Okay, so let's not reinvent the wheel. I know there's some of you out there that saying, yeah, but those things are so corny. Guess what? It might be corny, but it's better than what you're using right now. Okay, so I always say, like Bill Gates always said, get it done, get it out there, I'll fix it later. That's why they always start with version 2 on all of their products, because everyone knows version 1 sucks.
Right.
Okay. Anyway, if we look at a 30 touch, Daniel, number one is if you email all your past clients in sphere of influence once a month. So an email once a month, okay? And if we do that over the course of a year, how many touches is that?
12.
All right, man, you made it past second grade math. Okay, if I send something in the U.S. mail once a month, how many pieces is that?
It's 24.
Oh, it's too easy. Now let's talk about the mail piece for a moment. Okay, I always say it's okay to send like 4 postcards a year, but you must include 4 letters a year, because we want to include a letter, because that's the only way you can put your business card in. See, in a postcard, we know it goes from the mailbox to the garbage can. But usually if they're past clients in sphere of influence, you put your business card in, people will save those. Think of your own, if you have an insurance guy and he sends you letters, he always includes his business card, doesn't he? Right. And what do we all do? Oh, that's my insurance guy. I better save his card. And so we throw it into our junk drawer at our desk. And when we go to clean our junk drawer, we put together a pile of 20 business cards from our insurance man and send them back to him. Okay. Anyway, so a piece in the mail once a month. 4 of those, 8 can be postcards, 4 can be letters. What people love, is information. So that's why we're really big on sending a quarterly newsletter filled with market statistics for your service area. That can be done electronically. And what's really cool, a lot of this stuff you can just buy off the shelf. Okay, and there's articles in them, and there's parts of these off-the-shelf products that allow you then just to customize it, for your own market. So right now, we're up to 28 touches right there. How about a house anniversary card? Mm-hmm. How about a birthday card? Mm-hmm. Okay, right there. There's 30 touches, ladies and gentlemen. And the whole thing is, if you're doing this, number one, electronically, and more importantly, this is where I believe a virtual assistant, really can come in, Daniel, because this entire thing should be run by a VA. Yeah. There are other systems out there when you look at house anniversary and birthday cards. There's other, systems out there that are all online. Where you can send out birthday cards to them. You can send out anniversary cards. You don't need the cards in your office even. Right. So all of this, ladies and gentlemen, if you put together an action plan in your database and you launch it in every single one of your clients, and make sure you're putting in the client type with, of that past client seller, past client buyer, make sure we have right addresses, and I always believe when you're mailing something, mail it first class versus bulk rate, because that way you're always keeping up to date, because if it's first class and it has a return address on it, it's getting sent back to you. So now you can run down so you can get the right addresses, because we're not all perfect. We strive for excellence, but send it first class. So this way you always keep your database up to date. At the holiday time, we send out over 1,200 holiday cards, and they all go first class, because that gives me once a year an opportunity to make sure my database is always up to date with people's current addresses. Right. So, there's a very easy 30-touch program. And I think before we get into, how do we get more referrals from people, let's not put the cart before the horse. Ladies and gentlemen, this is about operational excellence. And when you put together this electronic action plan and you're sending out these 30 touches, you're going to see more and more of your business come, from past clients and referrals. I got a client last year. We closed $201 million in residential real estate. Now, this is not somebody that has a high average sale price. I think his average sale price was about $325,000. Okay. Mm-hmm. All right, you do the math. 51.2% of his $201 million came from past clients and referrals. $51.2 million worth of business from past clients and referrals. Now, this guy's a maniac, on staying in touch with his past clients. I think he touches his past clients probably 60 times a year. Now, some of you people I know, I just felt this one, Daniel, they're saying, well, that's a little overkill. I don't know. I'll take $51 million in sales from my past clients and referrals. I don't think it's overkill. Proof is in the pudding. Yeah. Yeah. So if you're listening right now, what I love too is we have the question bar up, and Bob loves questions around this stuff. And we just laid out like the basics, I think, for anybody who's considering creating a referral program. But we're going to dive into more specifics about what is really amazing. An email a month. Yep. Look at that. I'm even typing it in there. A mailing a month. Yeah. He's doing it. I love this. Okay, Bob. Yes. You didn't mention, and this is, I'm sure you're about to do so, but what about like talking to them? Wow, what a concept! Oh, but Daniel, I got black cord fever. I don't like calling people. Okay. Then get out of real estate. Okay. And here's where the tricky part becomes, because I think if we look at the number of transactions that y'all are doing, listening to the call today, to me, you're making under 50 sales a year. There's no reason you can't call your past clients once a month. Yep. Okay, as these teams, start doing more and more homes. Like, imagine, we have these clients that are doing 300, 400, 500 units a year, and they've been doing this volume for 5, 6, 7, 8 years, as long as they've been in coaching. Well, if you've been in coaching 8 years and you're doing 300 homes a year, that's 2,400 past clients. So that becomes increasingly difficult to make those kinds of calls. This is where a virtual assistant can come in. We always encourage our clients who have those kinds of we have clients that have 30,000 past clients.
Right.
Okay. And so you really have to start making business decisions. And as a real estate agent, what you want to always do is have your top 25 referral sources. And those referral sources can be past clients that are giving you referrals, your sphere of influence that's giving you referrals, vendors like, your home inspector, your handyman, your pool guy that's giving you your referrals. So we call it your top 25 people that are giving you referrals. Those are the people you want to make sure that you call and stay in touch with once a month. So your time, if you're selling under 50 transactions, you should be calling them once a month. After that, you have to start putting systems in place and start identifying, your top 25 people that you are going to call. A lot of people get into real estate on a shoestring budget and they don't have a lot of money. And the only thing that you have is time. Okay, the acronym for time is that is my excuse. Okay, so if all you have is time on your hands, then you can call these people all the time. Or maybe at the holidays, we have some clients that give away, like at Thanksgiving, they'll give away, a pumpkin pie. And if they're only doing, 20 or 30 homes, they actually hand deliver the 20, 30 pies to each of their past clients. They call them, let them know they're going to be dropping off a pie, okay, or they're inviting them into their office so that they can see them. When you start getting more and more and more past clients, and then we always recommend just do a pie pickup in your office. Can you imagine 300 of your clients come by your office to pick up pumpkin pie a couple days before Thanksgiving?
I love it. I love it a lot.
The telephone, Daniel, the telephone is what's also, because you developed relationships with these people. And the issue is what you're saying to the people. Gosh, when you have my house listed or when you sold me a home and a month after, you are my best friend. Now I haven't heard from you. Yeah, because you're searching for the money. Search for relationships. Okay, our own company, Corcoran Consulting and Coaching, I'll say better than 80% of our sales come by referral sources.
Sure.
I've been doing this 25 years, and we're still really trending really, really high on our new clients joining us by referral.
Right. Well, if you're in the business and you want to get to 500, 600, 700, deals, you're the company to go to. So I think you're going to get a lot of business from referrals because that's kind of what you guys are famous for. I was so I'm playing basketball 2 days ago, and there's a new agent there, and I'm talking to him, and he was telling me that he needs to, how does he get more business? And I said, well, when's the last time you called your sphere of influence? And he's like, I really just don't like to do that. And I'm like, well, what's the mindset that you're,
Right.
like what's going on? So anyways, what I'm interested from you, Bob, and the most value you can give is tell people the top 25 referral sources that you as the agent, whether you're a big agent or a little agent or middle agent, whatever you're doing in volume, what should a person call and say to those 25 top referrals? And then what should you do when you call and you want to talk to somebody who's just in your sphere, like just somebody that who may or may not know that you're in real estate? So like sphere, and then what's the difference between the past clients? I think that would be the biggest value you could bring.
All right, well, let me start here, Daniel. Last month of February, we were down in Australia, and we were doing our sales boot camp across the entire country of Australia. So in our sales boot camps, we always have a live prospecting session. Okay, and the prospecting session was from 6 to 9 at night. We have dinner from 5 to 6. We get on the phone. Well, at lunch of the very first boot camp, the executive vice president of sales says, "Oh, Bob, we have an issue with prospecting tonight." I said, "What's that, mate?" And he goes, "Well, they think it's rude to call past 5 o'clock." And I'm like, wow, you got to be kidding me. What are we going to do? He goes, well, can we just prospect before dinner and then quit at 5 o'clock? I said, no, it ain't going to work. I got him to acquiesce to 6 to 7 o'clock. Okay, and does what we teach work? Wait to hear the results. But so we prospected, from 6 to 7, and one of the things that we teach in our boot camps is how to call past clients, especially those past clients you haven't talked to in years.
Right.
Okay, I'm going to give everybody the $1 million script for calling somebody you haven't talked to in years.
Perfect.
Phone rings, they pick up. I go, "Hi, this is Bob with ABC Real Estate. How you doing?"
I'm doing great.
Awesome. My gosh, it's been how long since we spoke?
A couple months, maybe a couple years.
Unbelievable, Daniel. It seems like only yesterday you bought that house, but I think it was about 4 years ago.
Yeah.
And, I thought you forgot about me. So I thought I was thinking about you. I'd reach out the phone and give you a call.
Cool. Well, thanks for calling.
There's your opening script, ladies and gentlemen. See, when you're calling people, okay, they haven't talked to in years, there's one of 3 results are going to happen. Number 1, they're going to hang up on you. Number 2, they're going to say, "Who are you?" So you have to resell them on who the hell you are. Okay, and the third thing is they're going to be really excited to hear from you. And it's usually going to be a combination between 3 and 2. You notice I didn't say 2 and 3. Because most of the people are going to remember you, and they're going to be excited about it. Sometimes you have to refresh their memory. But that's okay. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm telling you, a majority of the people are going to be excited to hear from you. I don't care if you haven't talked to them in 3-4 years. So let's fast forward. That prospecting night. Okay, hey, we went through all these scripts, and there's an agent. He's sitting there prospecting. He goes, "Bob, I'm doing really good, going through my list, making my phone calls, people I hadn't talked to." He goes, and I came across a name, and he says, "Oh my God," he said, "I said to myself, I haven't spoken to this guy in 10 years. I can't call him." He goes, "A real funny thing happened. You popped up on my shoulder," and Bob Corcoran said, "Call him anyway." So I picked up the phone and called him. The guy goes, "Ara, are you still in real estate?" Ara goes, "Yes, I am." He goes, "Are you still with LJ Hooker?" Ara says, "Yes, I am." The guy goes, "All right, your timing is impeccable. I have a development I'm ready to bring to market. Can we meet tomorrow?"
Yeah.
Ara comes up to me because he's supposed to be in the boot camp tomorrow, and he's all excited. He goes, "Can I go do this?" I said, "Only if you come back with a listing agreement." Next morning, Ara walks into the boot camp. I paused the whole boot camp training. I said, "Well, Ara, what were the results?" He goes, "Ladies and gentlemen, here is a signed listing agreement for 33 condos priced at $500,000 each." The room went wild. And
Wow.
I'm telling you, there are stories that could continue for hours on just stories like that. But it's overcoming your fear that you haven't talked to somebody. And it's that guilt. Get rid of guilt. Okay, just pick up the phone, force yourself to do it. And so,
Well, and to break down what you said, there's 2 brilliant things. "Hey, Bob, this is Daniel. I'm picking up the phone because I was thinking about you." Like that one little line, it's NLP, right? It says, "You're important. I care. I want you to know what's going on," right? And so I think that's important. And the next thing is you said, "It's been so long. When's the last time we talked anyways?" Like you're putting it on them. Like, "Hey, how come, it's a neutral situation that you guys haven't talked. They didn't call you. You didn't call them. It's not like, oh, I didn't do my part." It's like, how long has it been? It's like out of curiosity at that point.
Right.
So I think it's really a great, I just like that script.
In Daniel, the callers are saying, "Well, that script sounds corny." Well, it's better than the script you're using now, which is nothing. Okay. Right. And I kid you not. I mean, most of the people are really going to be happy, okay, that you reached out and you called them. And when we talk about, and you bring up a good point, well, I have past clients and I have my sphere of influence. Right. Okay. For past clients, they're both really basically the same script. The Ford, F-O-R-D.
Yep.
F stands for family, O is occupation, R is recreation, and D is dreams. They've been teaching the Ford script since before I was born. Yep. And so but hey, Daniel, it's Bob at ABC Real Estate. You get through your introduction, right? Well, Daniel, how's the family doing?
Right.
Has the family adjusted over the last 4 years to the new neighborhood?
Yeah.
Great. Great. How's your job? See, there's occupation. See, most of our listeners today, Daniel, all they need to know is a script, how to say hello. And you will give you the one, the F, how's the family, how's the job? Hey, we're coming up in springtime. You got any vacation plans for the summer? Here's recreation, right? And a dream might be, as somebody said, yeah, someday I'm going to have a cabin in the woods as a vacation home. If you have that in your database and your notes, that's where the dreams you got to keep, really in your database, because it's almost impossible for most people to remember those things. Usually, if you can get through, hello, how's the family, how's the job, most of our listeners know where to take the call from there.
Right. I mean, in that scenario, and if they're a sphere of influence or a past client, how do you do what the whole intention of the call, which is actually just ask them for business?
Well,
what do you say?
So to me, I always come in the back door and leave through the front door. Come in the back door, which because I really care about you, so I'm showing care and concern. How you doing?
Yeah.
And so you have to have these leading up questions to get the referral. Because if I haven't talked to you, remember we have our top 25, which are people who are active referral givers, right? And then we have those people. To me, if you have somebody you haven't talked to in 3 or 4 years and you're asking for referrals 4 years later, I think that's grossly wrong. I mean, you can still do it. However, this is about relationships. And real estate is an ear-to-ear, a belly-to-belly business. It's a contact sport. The more we contact people, the more business we're going to have. And so let's just focus on our top 25 that we spoke about, that we call on a monthly basis. Okay, of your top 25, what I would also recommend is, why not, you might have your top 5 referral people. How about take them out to lunch or meet them for coffee in the morning before you go in the office? Do that once a month. Okay, I have a client every morning. They go to breakfast. Their breakfast is from 8 to 8:45, and I will say 3 out of the 4 days they go to breakfast, they're either inviting a team member, another real estate agent for recruiting, or somebody in their top 25. Okay, so they always have somebody that's going to be there with them in breakfast. Generally, they're going to do that Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. Then they retain Thursday just for them to focus their business for the weekend. So on our top 25, you got to remember, these are people that are giving us referrals on a regular basis. And so number one, we always want to remember to thank those people. Okay, it's, hey, Daniel, Bob, I don't even have to say Bob at ABC Real Estate because I'm talking to you every month. So you become my friend.
Yeah.
And with those top 25, I always recommend put it in as a recurring activity in your database to call them. This way, you're not relying on your memory to do it, and it's popping up on your schedule to call those people so that you don't lose track of those. And this, some people might think I'm a little cold-hearted guy, but my friends have a scheduled call in my database. Okay, that I'm calling them. My best friend, I'm calling them once a week, and I put them in.
There's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with that.
The thing is, like I said, a pretty smart guy, Albert Einstein. Why should I remember it if I can write it down? Well, I'm sure if they had computers in his days, he would say, or I can schedule it in my computer. Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, come on. We keep our clients' birthdays in there. I send out probably 800, 900 birthday cards a year, handwritten by me. Okay. I'll keep spouses' birthdays, and so. If I had your wife's birthday in my database, what happens, your wife's birthday pops up, I send her a birthday card, I turn around and shoot you an email, Daniel, don't forget your wife's birthday's coming up in a week. So we do that with our clients. And I have people say, man, I would have forgotten completely. See, life gets in the way of us remembering some of the important things in life. So in our top 25 past clients in Sphere, really in those top 25, Daniel, you can really meld them together as one group because they really become a close-knit group of friends.
Right.
So, and it's just, hey, Daniel, it's just Bob. Check in. How you been doing? We haven't talked in a month.
Yeah.
Just short calls. Just want to call, say hey, and you say, oh, I'm having a 4th of July party coming. Oh, great. When the time does it start? You mind if I show up?
Right.
Show up. Invite yourself. It's okay. But your top 25, Daniel, you really develop those relationships, and people don't really know how to need to get started.
Right.
But in my top 25, I would always almost end it with or work in, Daniel, I truly just also, outside of our friendship, I just want to let you know how much your referrals mean to me. As it really is the biggest benefit or biggest, compliment I can get are the referrals you give me. So, well, keep them coming, okay?
Right.
You're having a heartfelt conversation. That's what it's about. I'm recently jumping into a book. Michael Mayer wrote it. I don't know if you've read it. It's the book on referrals for real estate agents. And I really, if you don't, you can actually
Mahr, I believe is his last name. And it's a great book. And one of the things that he says to do in there is to, like you were saying, take notes, keep the information in your database, and then once in a while just send them something uh, associated with their forward. Like whatever their dreams are, whatever they're trying to obtain in life or in business or whatever. Hey, I came across this article and I was thinking about you. Here's a quick email. I hope everything's great in your world. And and those little personal things, it's not something that takes a ton of time.
No.
And if you have the right notes and people just like, hey, I was thinking about you and I found this article that I thought might be important to you. And I just think that's a big deal,
Right, and also you can set up notifications that if anything of any of your past clients or your sphere pop up, in the news, those news alerts you can get. Okay, now they're emailed over to you, and when I'll do that, like if my client has an article in a newspaper, I get the article and I just forward it to my clients. Wow, I just read your article in your local newspaper, and here I am, 1,500 miles away, and again he goes, wow.
Yeah,
it's and how much time I see something like that? I could set my VA up to get those news alerts, right?
Right. Well, and I think
boom.
I think organizing all these things too. I mean, you certainly can have a virtual assistant pulling, the notes and then just especially for your top 25 referral people, right? Like, hey, I know, our insurance guy refers us a lot of business. Here's a pertinent article in insurance in our local market. And then it comes from my email to our insurance broker. Hey, I was thinking about you, saw this article. I hope, everything's great with the family, PS, can't wait to catch up with you on our next call. Boom, done. And a virtual assistant can bring that whole, process and that system to life.
Daniel, it's all about being top of mind. Okay, with your people. The more people you can be top of mind with, the better off you're going to be. And I think, one thing that, like in real estate, we can talk about all of this technology that is out there for lead generation. But at the end of the day, like I said earlier, this is an ear-to-ear, a face-to-face, belly-to-belly business. For some people, and we get these questions a lot, I'm brand new in real estate. How do I get started? Well, I know every broker is going to tell you, call everyone you're in real estate. But how about starting with dominate the market you live in? Yes. Go door to door. Introduce yourself. I'm the neighborhood expert. Our neighbor's looking to buy or sell. Hand them my business card. Here you go. And that's all you need. The business card is the most underutilized marketing tool every real estate agent has.
Yeah, agreed. We have a question, Bob, and it says, please repeat the script for thanking them for continuing sending referrals. And I think people get, and we're going to answer that. I'm going to have Bob do it, but I want you guys to, with all these scripts, it's more about the intent and what you're trying to convey. And so, Bob might say it one way, I might say it another way, but it's what you want people to hear. And so what exactly are you going to give her the script and then help her understand what you're trying to convey? I know what you want to convey.
Oh, that word try. See, every time he says try, I know he's going to fail.
I love it. I love it.
Daniel, and you wonder why we charge our clients $150 every time they say it. Because we want our people to succeed, not to fail. The script is really, Daniel, you nailed it. It's the intent, okay? Scripts need to come from your heart, and you need to own them. See, script number one is a written word. A dialogue is a spoken word. So you need to take every script that you have, and you need to personalize and make it yourself. Like Daniel said, I'm going to say it one way. He's going to say it another way, because people who know Daniel, if he said it my way, they would still say it sounds like you. Okay, but everybody has their own way of saying it, and so the script is very easy. Daniel, I just want to let you know I truly appreciate the referrals you've given me in the past, as that is the highest compliment that I can have as a real estate agent, is the service I've given to you. So again, Daniel, thanks for the referrals and keep them coming.
Yeah, perfect.
Yeah.
I think if you can, my big thing is if you can tell them what it means to you, I can't tell you how much, and this is just my perspective and it's not right and wrong, but I can't tell you how much it means to me that you trust your friends, your family, and their real estate transactions to me.
Right.
Like, it's very humbling. And like, that's just the way I would say it. But it doesn't matter. What you're doing is you're just thinking, I was looking for the basics. Yes, Marty, those are the basics. Those are the basics. Thank you for the business. I really appreciate it. It means everything, the whole world to me that you try with your business.
Yeah.
Or with your friends and family's business. Okay, so what else would you do? Like, what are Bob, you coach people who are doing thousands transactions, like 100. I mean, you've got some of the biggest agents. So what are some wow things that you've seen in the industry, in this referral world?
Well, really great ones, and some of them. If I get into some of them, I already got the feeling, oh, that won't work in my market, or oh, I could never do that. Ladies and gentlemen, it's coming up with a brainstorm ideas, and you may not think you can do some of these, but you can. You close on a house, okay? And so I would say, Daniel, okay, you're closing next week. Do you happen to know when you're going to have your housewarming party?
Yep.
Really? Okay, when you're going to have, hey, what I'd like to do as a gift to you is I want to provide all the soft drinks for you. Okay. As a matter of fact, also, if you want to give me your invite list, what I have are these customized invitations that I've developed just for your housewarming. And if you give me your contact list, what I will do is mail those invitations for you, and I will have my team follow up with a telephone call 2 days before the event to remind them of your housewarming party. How does that sound for you?
That sounds like a lot of work, man. You're sure you want to do all that?
Well, you know what? I do this for all of my clients, and our system is so refined right now. And it is one of the gifts that our clients appreciate the most because, you know what? I know what it's like to move into a home and worry about planning a housewarming and getting everything done. And this is the least of your worries. And it is probably the best thing I can do for you because it's going to give you more time in your life.
That's beautiful. All right, cool. What else?
Right. The other thing is put on the housewarming party. Okay, you combine with your, who is the lender that did the deal. Okay, and if they're doing a cookout, your lender might be bringing the hot dogs and hamburgers. You're bringing the soda. You're bringing the housewarming banners, and you're at the housewarming doing the cooking on the grill with your name tag on.
Right.
And if you invited all of these people, it also gives you as the agent, look at it. I not only have you as my past client, Daniel, but I have your entire sphere of influence now that I get to serve because I already have name, address, and phone number.
That's right.
Right? Okay. And so you want to be at the open house. If you don't want to show up for the whole open house to cook or something, you say, you know what, Daniel, I know your open house is Sunday at 2:00. I'm just going to stop by for a little while. Okay. Just to, see what you've done to the house. Okay.
Yeah. Perfect.
You show up at the open house with your name tag on. Don't be a secret agent and not wear your name tag. Okay, so housewarming gifts is just really a very simple, easy one to where you can get everybody else's sphere of influence. Because again, this is a contact sport. The more people I can have contact with, the opportunity I have to sell more.
Well, and I think there's something to be important to be said about, like, where do people move? They move into neighborhoods where all their friends are, and they also live there. They move into neighborhoods where their kids go to school, and all their friends' kids go to school. Like, you're going to end up being, and I think it's a brilliant idea. What other kind of really amazing ideas do you have on the referral side?
The referral side is I definitely have a past client party. Okay, and again, it depends, and I don't care how big your teams are. Some of our teams have, like I said, thousands, and so they'll rent out a whole movie theater. Okay, and they'll do a premiere showing of like a P-rated or G-rated movie. Okay, and you might get 300 or 400 of your past clients in, it's there together for 2 hours, and really, how much time is it really costing you? Okay, you can put on if I don't have that many, do a more intimate setting, maybe at a nice restaurant where you can just do an hors d'oeuvre and wine and soda, okay, type, just to get together.
Sure.
Okay. Summer barbecues are a great one. The things that, like a Memorial Day, we have, some of our clients will take and they'll hire the Boy Scouts and they'll give them a list of their past clients in a specific farm area. And every past client gets a U.S. flag, planted in their lawn, with your business card attached to it. Okay. And again, we like the Boy Scouts. You make a donation to the Boy Scout troop. Now I'm getting them to put this out and I get to write it off.
Sure.
Because I'm giving a donation.
I always had, and I still do, we have a Christmas party every year at my house. It's the first weekend in December, and all of my past clients, all of the people that work for us, everybody that's in my sphere gets an invitation, and it's getting big. We can't actually fit everyone into the house anymore. We've got them in the backyard, and we've got heaters going and everything. But I'll tell you, it's probably, and I think I'm coming up on like 15 years of doing the same exact party every single Christmas. And, when people can't come, they're like, I'm so upset that I can't come. And it's really not expensive. It's drinks. We have appetizers, typically heavy, and we always have some sort of a music thing. And everybody just kind of knows everybody because we've been doing it for a long, long time. And these are friends and sphere and past clients. And I think there's something really nice about having people at your home.
Yeah, there really is. And a piece to add to that, Daniel, is you have like your top 3 referral people that are at the party, and you say, okay, ladies and gentlemen, if I have your attention, please. We're now going to honor the top 3 people that in 2014 gave us the most referrals.
Yes.
So now you're calling them up, and you might give them a cruise.
Yeah.
Right? You might give them use of a vacation home you have for a week. You might give them $1,000 gifts, whatever you can do legally. Okay, but you're recognizing the people giving referral sources. And what is that saying to the other 100 people that are there?
I want to win.
All right, right. And it's also a recognition for those people who do give you referrals.
Okay, good. I want to ask a question. Like, how would you use a virtual assistant in this space in order to run the referral? Like, exactly what would you have someone hired through our company do, or even an employee? Because a lot of people, sphere of influence, they want to have somebody in their office, and so I'm not opposed to that. But what would you have?
Time out. I respectfully disagree with you. Okay, to those agents who want to have somebody in your office to handle this, trust me. Okay, if you want to pay that desk fee to your broker, God bless you. The entire past client program should be run by a virtual assistant. Yeah. I would say 99% of it. I do need somebody sometimes boots on the ground, like if I'm doing a pie giveaway. Okay, I can't send a virtual pie; it doesn't taste as good. Okay, right. So sometimes I do need at least one person with boots on the ground. But if you look at this, if you're using a database like a Top Producer, or there's a lot of other ones that use electronic action plans, and when we send, you have a ongoing list of your VA is keeping your list of past clients in Sphere up to date. Okay, and they're the ones that are activating the emails that go out once a month. Okay, if you're doing, when you look at a letter or a direct mail piece once a month, use a mail house. Okay, they're simply sending the addresses over to the mail house to send the postcard out.
Right.
Okay, the letters to the mail house to send the letter out. The quarterly newsletter, it's an electronic newsletter. So this entire thing should be run by a VA. And if we say, if you're selling 100 homes, then I'm telling you, ladies and gentlemen, you need at least a third of your business coming from past clients. So if we say a third, that let's just round numbers, that's 30 sales. And if we take the average sale price in America of $200,000 and you're getting 30 sales a year, okay, that's $6 million worth of business, isn't it?
Yeah.
And times 3% is $180,000 in gross commission a year. Let's say you're on a 70 split, right? Okay, my ROI on that and my return on time investment is 100% because I have no time in it as a real estate agent. So, go ahead.
No, I just want to say you're spot on, and it's the least expensive lead source that you're ever gonna get.
Mm-hmm. All right, another thing is, just look at simple things. How about your tagline on your email signature? And if you have people that work for you, your email signature is a sales tool. Everybody should have a PS. If you know anybody who's thinking of buying or selling a home, please do two things. One, tell them about us. Two, hit reply to this email and tell me about them. What's wrong with that as a PS on your email signature?
Sure.
If you, ladies and gentlemen, if you can't ask referrals for referrals, then why are you in the business? Salespeople, we're constantly taught to ask questions. So we look for different things. Okay, sending out a letter. You could send out a letter to your past clients in Sphere. Hey, I have the following buyers looking for a home like this. If you know anybody who has one, please give me a call. I could do that in an email even, or I could do it in the mail. Now, here's the beautiful thing. How can a VA? I send out 100 letters that say, I have the following buyers looking for a home like this if you know anybody. I send out 100 letters. Now I give it to my VA to call those 100 people. Hey, this is Bob with Daniel Ramsey's team. Daniel, I know, had sent you a letter last week, and he asked me to give you the call to make sure, did you receive it? So see, they're very easy scripts, non-threatening scripts. Okay, and now that VA is really just sifting through all of those 100 people and only giving you, Daniel, the gold nuggets of people say, oh, yeah, I got, Bob and Martha are looking to sell their house. Great, I'll have Daniel give you a call.
Yeah.
So, a lot of this, what I say is, what we're seeing is as teams starting to get bigger and bigger, I keep reminding my clients, look, your broker has assigned all of these desks for real estate agents. If you're going to take up a desk with an administrative assistant, then expect to pay a fee, okay? Right. Because that seat has a dollar amount. I always say, like clients, the first hire somebody should have is a database. A second hire, I'm going to say, is a virtual assistant to do the non-dollar productive work, like posting your pictures on websites, social media. Okay, as your business starts getting better and better and better, now you may have to bring somebody in-house. But don't always look for somebody in-house first.
Right. So what would you have a virtual assistant call? You're going to take the top 25 because those people are gold.
Right.
But the let's say I have 500 sphere of influence and past clients people. What exactly would you have a virtual assistant call out and say?
You can come up with a list of 100 things. Okay, so what you need to do, ladies and gentlemen, is just put together a list. If Daniel has 500 people, how often does Daniel want them called? Does Daniel want 500 calls made a month? Why not? I'm okay with that. Okay, some people will say, well, I just want them called once a quarter. Okay, great. Then come up here. If it's once a quarter, once a month, then you need 12 topics. Okay, that you want your VA to be calling on. Okay, so they, it might be the beginning of April. Hey, Daniel wanted me to give you a call just to remind you that tax day is coming up. Okay, so if you need anything from him for your tax return, please don't hesitate to ask for it. Email Daniel. Yeah. Right? Okay, hey, March could be, hey, Daniel just wanted me to call you and wish you happy St. Patrick's Day. How about Lassie's birthday?
But what do you do to switch it from a contact to a request for
so the script
business would
be, hey, Daniel asked me to give you a call and remind you tax day's right around the corner. So if you need any documents from Daniel, just shoot him an email. And remember how much Daniel really appreciates, you giving him referrals. So at the same time you need something from Daniel, don't hesitate to shoot him a referral as well.
Gotcha.
Just like that. See, people expect what I think that our agents have to remember is the buying and selling public expected to ask for referrals.
Yeah,
because they know you're in sales, and they mostly know that the heart of all salespeople are referrals. Whether we're buying houses, whether we're buying cars. Heck, I get a call from my personal shopper 4 times a year. Now he's in Southern California and we're in the Midwest. Okay, and he'll just, Bob, haven't seen you in 2 years. Let me know when you're coming out. Don't forget, Tuesday's my day off. Now, since you moved away, I think you owe me somebody local who I can be their personal shopper for. Oh, that one, right? Here's my personal shopper. Yeah. So people do ask, expect salespeople to ask for referrals. But again, let's go back to the referrals. Got to come from your heart. Asking for it's got to come from your heart.
Yeah.
And what is probably, and I'm sure there's other trainers that disagree with me. There's one time of the year that I'm opposed to asking for referrals, and it's at the holiday time. That it's just my personal thing because I'm sending you a holiday card, okay? Truly to wish you and your family happy holidays, okay? And I say, oh, P.S. Send me referrals. It kind of takes away the spirit of the intent of sending out your your Christmas card or a Hanukkah card or whatever card you're sending out.
Yeah, but there's nothing to say that you can't like wish them a Merry Christmas or a Happy Holiday, and then also at that same time hit their forward, find out what they're up to for the New Year's.
Yep.
And like, there's nothing to say that you can't build a relationship in that time frame, and
No.
and tell them what's going on in your world and really develop deep.
Right, and also I think, Daniel, if you go back to your top 25 people, those people, you're going to be calling, let's say, at the beginning of December, maybe right after Thanksgiving and before we really get in to the rush of the holiday season. And I say, hey, Daniel, the purpose of my call is twofold. Number one, I just want to wish your family, a really happy and peaceful holiday season. I know the holidays get away from us. That's why I'm calling now. Also, I'm preparing my calendar for next year. And I want to make sure I reserve some time that we can absolutely get together 3 or 4 times throughout the year. See, and so I'm preparing it ahead of time.
Right.
And again, most people are going to say, well, you know what, Daniel, call me after the first of the year for that.
Right.
And you're like, okay.
Yeah, because that's okay.
Right. Well, the other thing is, I think when we look at, virtual assistants, what about social media?
Sure.
I mean, on social media, I mean, every client, every agent should have on their Facebook page, they should have a private group of past clients in sphere of influence. And it's an invite-only group. And so if they're using a CRM that has the action plans, when you bring on a new listing, there's an activity that is assigned to the virtual assistant that says, do an invite to the private group in social media. Same thing on a pending transaction. Send an invite to the private group. Okay, and in there's where you can offer, coupons from restaurants that you've negotiated for, and again, completely run by VAs.
Yeah, well, and in that world too, I mean, we have a client has a virtual assistant create a calendar of events for his particular area, and so in his past client, area, they're just dropping all the events, they're dropping all tickets, their new restaurant, they go and review it, and it's all very niche and farm based. And, and he actually has multiple. So he does a past clients and sphere, and then he does a local one. So for anybody, and he's just delivering content into that group. And then every quarter he drops knowledge about the real estate market in that particular in that particular farm, and the guy's pulling a lot of business from it, and I think it's a value because nobody really aggregates that data in a way that people, because when I'm going out, we have a date night on Friday with my wife, and what to do is a big deal, and so I think helping people find things to do is a great service that doesn't cost hardly anything.
No, and a lot of these things that we're talking about here today, Daniel, don't cost a lot of money.
No.
Okay. And again, I think that we look at, we got to look at unemployment in your area and finding qualified people. The one thing I do want to caution all of our listeners today is, just because you hire, I think MyOutDesk does a really remarkable job on training their VAs, but they're training them on a broad array of systems and things like that. So when you're looking to hire a VA through MyOutDesk, be specific in your request. Look at, I want somebody to make phone calls. Don't just say I want to hire a VA. What is the intent of you hiring the VA? Because they screen their people based upon different personality types, and they do their best following the DISC profile system. If you're looking for a caller, they know that they're looking for somebody with an IS personality. And so don't just say I want a VA, because MyOutDesk is going to say for what? Okay, and also make sure that you follow using the best technology, and MyOutDesk can guide you on this. What is the best phone at that? And I get that asked a lot, Daniel. What type of a phone, if I'm going to have my VA, well, before I ask you that question, I also think that, the command of the English language has to be really good as well. If you getting somebody to call. And that's one of the things for our clients. We actually personally interview, okay, the VAs that MyOutDesk selects for our clients. Our team, our resource coaches, get on the phone and do telephone interviews. And again, it comes down to what's the importance of our client on the command of the English language. Some people, if you're in a highly transient area, military bases are used to every different dialect in the world. So somebody who has really great command of the English language and military market maybe isn't as important as somebody maybe in upstate New York.
Right.
Okay.
Well, and I think I want to just kind of step on this. The beauty is if you want to hire a virtual assistant and you have a preference for any skill set, you just tell us and we'll give you a bunch of options, whether that's voice, whether that's a technology background, whether that's an SEO and blogging, writing background, whatever it is that you need, sales experience. We simply will give you candidates with those previous experience and proven track record of success. So whatever you need, we'll deliver. And I think in this role, having like a person who is like solely dedicated to referral sources and building that pipeline, I think it's a combination of great voice and a very consistent, like puts all the notes in, does everything at the particular time. That's an S. You got to have some I, a little bit of C, like mid-ish range, so they're doing the quality stuff. That's probably ideal.
Yep, absolutely. And, please, all the listeners today, please, if you have questions, we want to respect your time. We only got about 10 minutes left. But really, let those questions pour in so Daniel can get them asked. Because I'm just going to keep talking. Well, another question that comes up, Daniel, we're taking this 1 hour call and, I could do a 1-day seminar.
Right.
Just on this. I know we're really putting a lot of information to this, but go ahead.
But before I want to mention too, if you're local in California, we actually are putting on a seminar with you guys, and I'm really excited. It's a leadership boot camp. It's happening on May 12th and 13th. So if you're listening to this and you want to get more of like Bob's systems and processes, it's a 2-day thing, and we're actually asking for donations instead of actually charging, which is insane, you guys. If you have an opportunity to go to this leadership boot camp, it's in Sacramento, California, our headquarters, and it's gonna be pretty awesome. So
now, I believe isn't that limited to the first 100 people who register?
Yeah, and I think, and I bring it up because I think we're coming on that already.
How do I register for it?
We'll have the link here. It's definitely we'll just put the link on this on this thing, and then with the replay, you guys can go out. How many candidates do you get to interview for we give you as many as it takes. So somebody asks the question, how many candidates? If you say, hey, I need a person who has sales experience and I want them to run this referral thing or whatever it is, maybe even just administrative, you need help on the operational side, you give us the time frame, you give us what you need, and then we'll give you as many candidates as possible. Literally last year we had 26,000 people apply to work for us and we only hired 2%. And we take that 2%, we test them, do 2 weeks of training, and the point is our value prop to our clients is that we screen, check references, check background, we just make sure that the candidates that you get in front of you are going to be great, but then you get an interview just like we're doing right now on face-to-face, and then you get to choose the person who would be a great culture and background fit for your business. Okay,
and Daniel, don't forget for all the listeners here today that are our clients, okay, make sure, those people that are our clients, that you forward, those resumes and applications, over to your coach so that we can do a phone interview as well.
Yeah, and that's a value that, Bob, you guys provide that people, I'm really impressed with it because we do our screening, you guys do your screening, and then as a client, you say, yes, this is somebody I want to hire. Like the chances of success go up dramatically. And then when you have a process and a system and a training and accountability conversations, like it's huge. One question, Bob, we gave everybody your referral thing. What else are we going to give? What are we going to give somebody who's listening? I'm just curious.
What do they want?
Yeah, you got to ask questions, guys. 'Cause Bob will give you all of his stuff on this call if you just ask the question. It's just amazing. Okay.
It's amazing, Daniel. People need to realize you got a 50-50 chance to get anything you want simply by asking.
That's right.
At the end of the day, one of the things we are giving to all of the callers, just those people who tuned in, is the marketing to your past client, your sphere of influence. A little bit more detail than what I talked about, touch 1, touch 2, about the 30 touch system. Also, Daniel, the question we get asked all the time is, when is a good time for a VA to make the phone calls? Okay. And right now I say anytime. Okay, we actually have one client who has 24-hour-a-day coverage with VAs. So they have VAs that work 24 hours a day, working across all time zones, because he's also in a very transient area where people are buying from around the world. It's South Beach, Miami, okay? And so people from around the world are buying there. So no matter what time a lead comes in, if it's coming in from Australia, we know that it's 17 hours ahead of us. And so they're 24-hour coverage. But, at the end of the day, okay, we base it about when are most people inquiring about real estate. And it's going to shock most people. Monday through Friday, the best times to call are between the hours 11 a.m. and 5 p.m.
Yeah.
Okay, and that's when the majority of people are calling in. Highest percentage, probably about 40% of all leads being generated are coming in between 11 and 5, Monday through Friday. On the weekends, at Saturdays, it's from 10 to 6, noon to 6. Okay, and so those are the best times, and so like when Daniel said, when you put systems in place, they become duplicatable for you, and your results are going to be there. One critical thing on a VA, if you're having high turnover with virtual assistants, I can tell you right now what's happening. You agents are not taking the time to properly train your VA. Turnover comes from lack of training and how you treat your people. Please, you need to also treat your virtual assistant as part of your team. Don't think you hire your VA and that's the last time you're going to talk to them. We have a VA through your company, Daniel. I don't know if you're aware of this, but Portia, who's been my VA for 3-4 years maybe,
long time.
Every single morning, they have a daily huddle. She's on a daily huddle call with our support team. We have 2, I think, through you. One is Portia with support, but it is mandatory she's on there. We have a team call every Friday. Mandatory. Portia's on our team call. And we make her talk when we're on the team call. We just don't, out of sight, out of mind. The more you can incorporate them as part of your team and include them in things like team meetings, the more they're going to understand who you are and what your wants and needs are.
Yeah. Well, and I think training is important. A system and a process is important. We always think as agents, and I'm a real estate broker. I started this business because I needed help in my real estate practice. So I always thought that everybody was like me. Like that they could just figure it out and get it done. And that's a mentality that, you have to get over when you're really trying to build something big and scale. And you hit it on the nail when you said you want to avoid turnover. Yeah.
Right.
And because turnover is the devil to a big, awesome business. It just is.
Yeah.
You keep people in place, you're just going to make more money.
Right, or people say, oh, I did a virtual assistant before. It didn't work.
Right.
And I can give you 100 people that says it does work, okay? But at the end of the day, this is about great work-life balance, and that's one of the things, Daniel, that we really preach. And people say, well, Bob, you talk about, clients selling 100, 200, 300, 400 homes. I don't want to work that hard. It's going to cost too much money, and I don't know where to begin. Those are the 3 myths in real estate. You will find that because we help people from a systems perspective to put systems in place for work-life balance. We teach you to leverage your time, whether it's through hiring another team member physically in your office, when is the right time to hire a virtual assistant or add a second. Matter of fact, one of our clients uses 12 virtual assistants. Now, he has some that he hires specifically for a project that only work 5 hours a week. Mm-hmm. That person is a specialist in those 5 hours a week. Right. And then he has an executive virtual assistant to run his virtual assistant team. And the guy's selling over, 300-400 homes a year, and he has 1 employee in his office.
Yeah. Hey, one second. We got a couple questions, and we're going to wrap up with these. So huddle call every day.
Yes.
Why? What are your thoughts?
The whole thing is so everybody can be centered at the same time, first thing in the morning. Okay, always schedule a huddle call at least 15 minutes after everybody begins. So if people in your office start at 8 o'clock, don't start your huddle till 8:15. You need people to come in and get their feet wet. There's another giveaway we'll give. Okay, is the agenda for a daily support staff huddle.
I love it.
Let me write that on there. Agenda.
We'll add that to the replay and we'll send it to everybody on this call.
Excellent. I will tell you, hold on, Daniel. Our clients that have implemented this, which is almost across the board, all of them, have said it is the number one thing they implemented, were an operations huddle every single morning and a sales huddle every single morning. Yeah. Okay, number one thing implemented. Go ahead. Next question.
No, the next question was, and I'm going to take this real quick and answer it fast because we have another question, which I love. Can you hire a calling virtual assistant and an administrative in one person? Yes, but determine what you want most of. Like if you're really calling, if you want a calling person, just know you're hiring a calling person and you have to have a great system and process in place for that calling. And if you want them to do some admin work, I would keep it really light on that admin work, right?
Ladies and gentlemen, hold on. Ladies and gentlemen, now let's get the coach's perspective on that. Hire an admin person 20 hours a week and hire a different person who has the right skill set to make the phone calls at 20 hours a week. That's how you're going to get the best of both worlds. Yeah. Go on.
And the thing is, it's not that you can't. It's just that it's
not
difficult. The best practice. It's not best practice. That would be my thing here. Let me see. We had another conversation. How many candidates? No, that's not it. Hybrid referrals. Okay. That's all of our questions, which is crazy. So Bob's going to give away a bunch of stuff, guys. We're also going to put a link if you want to actually go and have a free consultation with his company and like learn about their systems and processes. Like there's not a lot of people that we do these things with on a regular basis. Bob is one of them. So he and his company is because I just believe in them. And so if you're looking and you need help and you want to chat with somebody, then I would definitely advise you to reach out. We're going to put a link in order to actually have a free consultation with their company. So we'll put that there. What do you want? What do you want the people to be left with today? Oh, there you go. Call now. Call to action. Let's do it now. No wait.
What I want them to leave the call with, Daniel, is number one, be present in the moment, plan your work your plan. We're tired of hearing that since we were in school. Okay, but it is that easy. If you write down what is it you want to achieve, I'm telling you all right now, simply start with the very basic past client referral program. The emails, the letters, whether it's a letter or postcard, quarterly, start with that system right there. See, because I don't care if you're brand new in the business or a seasoned veteran selling 300 homes. By putting and making sure that system's in place and now it's fine-tuned, you never have to change it, no matter how many people you're dealing with. So start with that program. Also, birthday cards. Please make sure you're getting clients' birthdays. You already have the house anniversary. So the one takeaway I wish everybody, all the listeners, if you would implement that, we've achieved our goal, Daniel.
Perfect. Bob, as always, it's a pleasure chatting with you.
Likewise,
I feel like you bring a lot of value, man. You bring a lot of value. So we'll do more.
I hope so. And listeners, please don't forget to email Daniel some other topics you want to see on these future Hangouts. Okay? Yes. One of the ones that I've asked is somebody wanted to see what it would look like, a coaching hot seat. We pick some of the clients, okay? We give them a rundown, we give them some questions, and they can, if they join us live on the Google Hangout, I'll give free coaching sessions so people can see what a coaching session is all about. But that's usually a really well-attended topic as well. So if the listeners want that, let's find out.
I love that. I think that'd be fun. All right, guys.
Cool.
Thanks for your time, Bob, as always.
Bye, everyone. Talk to you soon. Bye-bye.
Hi, Joe here with MyOutDesk. I hope you enjoyed this video clip. And before you go, I want to give you this free tool that our clients, other agents just like yourself, and our virtual assistants use every day. It's designed to improve productivity. You can use it to keep yourself on track or simply hand it off to your virtual assistant, allowing you to focus on doing what you do best. That's right, selling real estate. Spend your time on commission-generating activities only. Allow your virtual assistant to do the rest. So grab your free checklist right now.